Okay, welcome back. And as you all know, over the years, the many years we've been doing this, products come and products go. And many products are introduced. I don't know who does it, but they just show up. And pretty soon, you've got to have this product. You can't live without this product. This product will heal and cure virtually everything that's wrong with you. How many times have we heard that? Well, once in a while, something comes along like Carnivora, like the magnificent Allison C, like Bio Superfood, like Carbon 60, which truly is spectacular, truly is unique, and really can change lives. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant. I've forgotten what the ratio is in terms of, I think Carbon 60 is something like 2,000 times more powerful as an antioxidant than is vitamin C, and therein lies a lot of its potential. But there's much more to it. And we have a sponsor on the homepage that I'm sure all of you have seen. It is Carbon 60, Greska's Carbon 60. Bob Greska, former NASA scientist with a background that is amazing, and I think if you look for the story link right under the ad, you'll see it, worth listening to. He was involved with the Space Shuttle heat tiles, largely made of carbon. He is a carbon wizard. His website is C-60.com, C60.com, and Bob is standing by right now. Are you there, Bob?
Yeah, I'm here, Jeff. Glad to be back. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's nice to have you back on again. Since you were on first, how have things been going?
Oh, they've been going spectacular. I mean, things have just been, people are getting comments in from people left and right and how this product is helping them. And, I mean, it sounds too grandiose, like you say, but that's the facts of the matter. It's over the top. It's miraculous. What people have been telling me is for their health issues just seem to fade away in short time.
Okay, we can't, obviously, for reasons that all of you understand, make direct claims. We will not do that. We never do. But we can talk about dramatically improved health, overcoming various health deficiencies that most people seem to run into from time to time, now more than ever because of our toxic lifestyle. So this is an issue that is really important, Carbon 60. Before we get to our first guest, Bob, tell me how you found out about this. What was your intro to Carbon 60?
Well, like I said, I've worked in carbon for nearly 4 decades, and we needed some Carbon 60. There was a study done for using it as an additive to a lubricant, and I said, I just off the top of my head, I think I know how to make that, and not looking at how other people make it. I went into my laboratory and set up some equipment and started producing it, and realized that I started a technique that produced it differently than anybody else in the world. We don't use a solvent extraction method, so there's no solvents involved in our process. We just make a pure, pristine Carbon 60.
That's a really important point. I don't want to belabor it, but all the other Carbon 60 products out there are derived through a different manufacturing process. Greska's Carbon 60, no solvents are used. It's a solvent-free process. And what you have is a little bottle with an eyedropper in it. You unscrew the eyedropper and you take that out, and that's how you get it. And I put it in my nutrition drink every day, I guess for about a month now, a little over a month. And I'm very healthy. I will not lie about that. I can't say, oh my God, I feel like a new man. I can tell you this, I feel better, no question. And that's pretty hard to do when you get to feeling good to begin with. If you live a good, honest, clean lifestyle, you feel pretty good. That's just the way it ought to be, and that's the way it is. This makes me feel a little bit better, and I'll take it. And now a lot of people who have a crummy lifestyle, when they begin to take carbon 60, they begin to detox. Well, tell us, what does it do? All right, let me just toss it over to you real quickly. What does carbon 60 do in a couple sentences?
Well, in a nutshell, carbon 60 molecule has the ability to share or donate electrons. Okay, now most of the toxins that you're exposed to in the food, air, and water, they come into your body and they steal an electron. And so your molecule is missing an electron, so basically the carbon 60 will give an electron back to that molecule and complete it. So now these free radicals turn back on, and they give your body more energy to mend itself. So the molecules that weren't working are now working. And that's basically what it does. And it also, neutralizes toxins, because toxins are looking for an electron, and they give them an electron, the molecules too.
So it completes the molecules that are looking for an electron, and they're able to do what they want to do much more efficiently. In fact, they can't do it without that extra electron. They need it. All right. So carbon 60 runs around handing off electrons and allowing the body molecularly to do things otherwise it wouldn't be able to do. This is great. Now, Dick Allgaier, and all of you know Richard, he's been on the program for years. He's a remote viewer. He began to talk about carbon 60. I don't know that he uses Bob's, but whichever one he's using, he's getting terrific results. His wife is getting terrific results. I think he mentioned it on the air recently. He said his wife's just raving about it. She's glowing and all that. You have nothing to lose. Let me ask you this. If somebody buys carbon 60 from you, and we haven't rehearsed this, ladies and gentlemen, and they're not happy with it, what are you going to do, Bob?
Well, we refund them.
That's what I'm saying.
That doesn't happen very often. It does happen. We have people that don't notice anything.
Sure.
But 95% of the people notice they have more energy. They feel better.
They look better too. I've heard that. I've heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah, they look better too. Their skin has a better complexion to it.
Yeah.
Their wrinkles sort of start to go away. It's kind of like a rebirth, and they start to change their wrinkle lines a little bit, and also any scars seem to start to, like it's a re-healing process for them. So they heal up better.
What is the number approximately that carbon 60 in relation to vitamin C is supposed to surpass it as an antioxidant? It's well over 1,000 times. I've forgotten what it is. Have you heard that number?
I've heard people talk about that, but we don't have any verification of that. So
we don't talk. Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
It's anecdotal. I understand, but the point is, it's a hell of an antioxidant. Okay. And we're all looking for antioxidants. Those are crucial things to a healthy, long-lived existence on this planet. Let's go to we've got several people who are kind enough to stay up late, who are on the program with us tonight, and they want to talk about carbon 60 and what it's meant to them. And these are always the best way, in my view, to get this truth, the full story out of an issue like carbon 60. Let's see if I can read this right. Okay. The first guest is Kate Hart. All right? She's also known as the Radical Gardener. Kate tried a different carbon 60 product and then tried Greska's carbon 60 for a radical life improvement. Kate has pictures of her leaky gut progress to clinically prove her improvement. She boasts about many health improvements with Greska's carbon 60. Kate works very closely with PhD Dr. Gretchen Schnell. It's a very interesting background. 40 years singing and training as an actor. Also a producer, a playwright, gathering over 50 industry awards, including 4 Grammy nominations. She's the founder of the Therapeutic Sound and Wellness Voice Institute. Interesting stuff. Kate, are you there? Can you hear me all right? Let me pull you over here. There you are. Good.
Yes, I am here, and I can hear you well. Yes.
Good. All right. 40 years as a singer-dancer?
No, as a singer, as a blues singer, I toured for 40 years all over the world, actually.
That is a book in itself or a major motion picture.
Well, actually, I do have a book coming out called We Are Not Good Girls about that whole journey.
Oh, that's funny. That's very funny. All right, so tell us about Carbon 60. When did you hear about it, or did someone say, hey, Kate, you got to try this? What happened?
Well, I've been interested in health since the 60s. I mean, my mother, ate organic food and cooked everything from scratch. I'm always tuned into what's going on, in the health world.
Sure.
But I heard about it. I think it was a YouTube channel, and there was something about it. As soon as I heard about it, I thought, that's something really important. So I ordered that, and I took it for a month. But I was sick for a month. My husband was taking it too, and his background is actually he studied to be a heart surgeon, so he really knows medicine.
Right.
And but we were both really sick. I mean, frankly, we couldn't get off the toilet, and we were really weak.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. You were weak from taking the Carbon 60.
Yes, because we couldn't get off the toilet.
All right, and at some point you had to figure out why, right?
Yes.
Right.
And
tell us why. What was going on?
Well, we felt that there was something that may have been toxic in it because we were reacting. It was more than just detoxing.
Got it.
It was something that wasn't working for us. So then I saw Bob. He didn't.
We should make this clear.
Interview.
Excuse me, Kate. We should make this clear that this was not Greska's Carbon 60 we're talking about here.
No, not at all.
This was another brand entirely, okay?
Right.
All right.
Right. Yeah. And so I saw Bob again. It was on a YouTube channel. And when, he was talking about being a carbon scientist, and then when he was talking about his product, I thought, I think that's the one that we should be taking. So we ordered it, and a week into it, we started to feel better. Now, I'm almost 70 years old, so I'm going to have a much, I might have more toxins than other people. I've been around longer.
Sure.
And so both and my husband has, a lot of pain. He, has stenosis of the spine. He had a heart attack. So we definitely have some health things. So we started taking it, and it's just been a remarkable journey. I mean, in another week, I will have been taking Bob C60 for a year.
That's amazing. Now, how long did you take the other product that was making both of you ill? Although I think you realized it was probably doing something good as well as making you ill. Am I right?
I don't know. I mean, when I think back, we were both so weak. I don't know if I could say it was doing something good. We just kept thinking to ourselves, well, maybe we're detoxing. And not.
Well, that's the reason I ask. Yeah, were you trying to rationalize it somehow, saying it's doing something good for us? All right.
Yeah.
But
yes, exactly.
Who wants to be sick like that? Nobody.
Right.
Right. Did you have to have a discussion between the two of you before you started taking another brand? I mean, here you are. That's not easy to do. So, well, why should we double down on this misery by taking another brand? Go ahead.
Right, because the concept of it just made too much sense to both of us, and I come from a more complementary medicine world, and my husband comes from the mainstream medical world, and we both, it made sense to us.
Right.
So we thought, well, let's just try another one and see what kind of results we get.
I really commend you for that. That took some courage, both of you, really.
Well, thank you. I have some health issues. Even though I have a really smart practitioner, I felt like I still have a lot to do with my life, and I really was looking for something that could help. So, of course. I mean, we had nothing to lose,
Mm-hmm. So after about a week, the weakness and the lousy effects of the first product began to wane and go away, and then you started to feel then you started to feel how?
Well, again, because we're older, we felt better. We felt a little bit stronger. We had a little bit more energy.
Uh-huh.
But now we were detoxing from that C60, but in a very different way.
How so?
Well, some days I would just feel like I didn't have a lot of energy because I was detoxing, but then the next day I would feel much better.
Mm-hmm.
So and I've done enough detoxes in my life that I know that sometimes you're not going to feel so good, but then you feel much better. So it was kind of up and down for a while, and then, but in the meantime, lots of things were changing. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that we were looking at as I was going through this process because I wanted to document it. So we did a dry cell live blood analysis every 2 to 3 months throughout this process to see what was going on.
Wow.
And in addition, we would do the heart mask and also electrodermal testing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching my blood change along with what I could visibly see, like wrinkles going away, scars starting to disappear, age spots. I don't have any age spots anymore. Gray hair was starting to go away. I could just go on and on and on. So we were seeing all of these improvements. My husband was in less pain. And again, we had more energy. We could do more. So, and then I was watching my blood change. That was really key. And
how was this? Kate, excuse me, I'm sorry, but how does this is like dark field microscope work or what? What was it?
Yes. It's a live blood analysis, and honestly, I'm the wrong one to
okay.
how things work. But
well, it was some kind of microscopy, and dark field or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're able to actually see and watch your blood. That's fascinating.
Right.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So I was actually watching all of the webbing that was in the blood that was starting to dissipate, and my white blood cells were no longer clustered up.
Oh, now let me say this. For those of you who don't know about this, if you ever get the chance to see your blood under a dark field microscope, you'll notice that many of your cells, the white cells, they'll agglutinate. They'll all stick together in like a clump, like there might be 30, 40, 50 of them in a clump, trying to move through your capillaries and your veins and your arteries. They should all be standing off from each other. They should not be stuck together.
Right.
They don't have the right bioelectric potential, so they actually end up like magnets sticking together. This is not good because they're not fully exposed and they can't do the work that the white blood cell's supposed to do.
That's correct. So, and now my white blood cells are no longer clustered together. I think that's remarkable.
That is a stunning, amazing development in and of itself. Right then and there, you're going to feel better, you're going to live longer, you're going to be healthier. I've known this for 30, 35 years about the agglutination of cells. There are other things that can help do that as well, but apparently the C60 does it, boom. How much a day are you taking? A lot of people say, well, what is this? I talked about the eyedropper. What are we talking about?
Well, for the first 7 months, I was just taking a dropper full a day. And
once a day in the morning, or you do split it in half?
Yep, just once, every single day, once in the morning.
Did you do it orally, or did you mix it?
I just put it in my mouth.
What's it taste like?
Nothing.
That's what I said. Then when I tried it, nothing. It's almost tasteless. Bob took all the taste away. I don't know how you did it, Bob, but there's nothing there.
I know.
Well, very
and now
good.
Also, just as a side note, I've put one drop in each eye of my Shih Tzu, who was getting cataracts or real cloudy eyes, and in 2 weeks' time, that's gone.
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Cataracts gone? 2
Yeah.
weeks? And your Shih Tzu?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Wow.
my
what a gift.
and I'm hearing people are also doing the same with themselves.
Well, we can't formally
No, I know.
endorse that, but that's wonderful to hear anecdotally. People are allowed to do whatever they want in the privacy of their own home with their own lives, and that's very interesting. So cataracts, this thing has endless bonuses to it, it seems.
I know. You know, I really believe we're just at the beginning of this. To me, it's miraculous. It's really changed my life. I mean, I say that Bob says 70 is the new 50. I say 70 is the new 40. I run 3 businesses. I also look 20 years younger, and Bob has the videos, and I look completely different. I mean, all people tell me is, oh, my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? I have no wrinkles on my face, none. And a real vitality. And that's really the key for knowing if you're healthy is I just look vital. I look like, I'm alive.
That's wonderful. How about your husband? And he had a heart attack. How's his overall health?
Well, really good. Joe had been, on pain medication for quite a while in his life, and he was also on, several different kinds of heart medication. The only thing my husband takes now is half of a blood pressure pill. And I don't even really think he needs that anymore. I just think he's afraid not to take it.
That's funny. That's funny. Wow.
He's off of everything now. Yeah.
Great. Well, the idea that you can sit there and tell us that you look so good physically that people are shocked after 1 year of this. When did you start to look better after you began using Carbon 60?
I think Bob can back me up on it because you could see it in my videos, but I think within a month I was looking really different.
Yes, I agree.
Truly amazing. Kate, thank you for being here very, very much. That was fascinating. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Have a good evening. Okay, night.
Thanks, Kate. Bob, are you on a speakerphone?
Yes, I am not now, though.
Please don't.
Is better?
Yeah, we hear you much better. Thank you.
Okay, real good.
Okay, that was a terrific, I don't want to even call it a testimonial. That was just real life. Fascinating.
Yeah, real life,
Yeah, very good. She really does look, now honestly, she really does look that much different.
Oh, yeah. She looked, are we on the air now? No.
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she before, when I first saw her videos, she looked, her age. Mm-hmm. And now she looks so much vibrant. Her skin looks better. She says her hair is coming in, her natural color again. It's not the gray roots, they're not there anymore.
Well, that's good. So, okay, great. All right, that's all I wanted to hear. Let's go talk to our next guest. She is Erica Kahn, and she's trained, believe it or not, as an astronaut. This is a very, very competent woman, and is a biohacking science nerd, whatever that means. Are you there, Erica?
I'm here.
All right, astronaut training. Were you formally accepted into the astronaut program?
Yes, several lifetimes ago.
Well, I understand that, but that's a remarkable achievement. Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you.
What in the world is a biohacking science nerd, Erica?
Well, I guess it's a person that just has an interest and a passion for human physiology, how to attain optimal health, athletic performance.
Must drive you crazy to see the average person literally poisoning him or herself to death with the food they eat. How sad does it get, huh?
Well, the choices these days are so limited, and people don't have the knowledge the time or the inclination to, I guess, just make better choices sometimes.
Well, their choices are not their own usually. They're told what to do. It's the media, it's programming, it's mind control, and all the rest of it. We won't go there right now. Let me ask you about Carbon 60. From your background and what you're telling me, I'm going to guess that you really did some research into this.
Yes, that would be an understatement.
All right. Tell us a little about that, would you?
Well, I came across C60 about 2 years ago after I had done some genetic testing on myself as a hobby, a biohacking kind of project.
Right.
And to my surprise, it revealed some genetic susceptibility to oxidative stress in a couple areas, not just one.
And oxidative stress, hold on, oxidative stress manifests itself how in people?
Oh, it can be a variety of ways. It means your body isn't quenching the ongoing free radicals that are generated through your metabolism.
Right.
In other words, you could have a deficiency of, well, in this particular instance, it's a free radical known as superoxide
dismutase.
Well, that's the enzyme that destroys it. So the genetic alteration I had, suppose that this is a lot of theory, too. They don't know. It's an emerging science, and I don't believe anybody is beholden to their genes. I mean, the genes load the gun and the environment pulls the trigger.
Well said. Well said.
So I was just curious, what can I do about this? So I started researching, what do people with this deficiency do about it? And I came across 2 supplements that were currently available because they have to be unique supplements, ones that would reach the mitochondria, which is where the majority of your free radicals are generated through metabolism. And I was curiously already taking one of them, and I wasn't really feeling much from it. So the other one was C60. And I had heard some stuff about C60, and I was, it was not all good at the time. So I said, well, let me look at it a little harder. And there's quite a few products out there right now, and so I
there's a couple dozen at least. Yeah.
At least, and it seems like a new one every day.
Yep.
So I began investigating them, and I realized very quickly the way these products are produced, this is not something I want to put in my body. No how, no way.
Okay, let me underscore that, please. Erica just said the way these products, the C60 products, are produced just wasn't something that she wanted to put in her body. This is very important. Go ahead, Erica.
No, the process is hideously toxic. It is hideous. I mean, most people would be aghast if they knew how.
Hey, solvents are no joke. Solvents are deadly, all right?
No,
I'm not saying C60 products that use it are deadly, but I'm telling you, you don't want anything to do with solvents under any circumstance if you can avoid it. No.
And then, submerging it in oil or dissolving it in oil, and now you've got to take spoonfuls of this stuff? No. Mm-mm. So I kept looking, and then I discovered this other one, supposedly made without solvent, so I looked a little harder at that, and that all made sense. So I decided to give it a shot. And, like most supplements that people take, I wasn't really expecting anything. And so I took the first dose, and, like Kate Hart said, it didn't taste like anything.
Now, this is C60.
We're talking about C60, Bob Greska's C60.
Bob's C60, okay.
Yep. First one I ever tried, only one I've ever tried now. And so took the first dose, went on with my day, went to bed, woke up the next morning, and I was flabbergasted. I mean, I'm 53 years old. I'm quite active athletically. I do push my body in that regard. And I was expecting, like every other morning, to, take a few minutes to get out of bed and, work out the kinks. And
sure.
I got out of bed like a 6-year-old kid, ready to just go play.
This is the next day after taking one eye dropper full?
One dose. It just blew me away. And I said, what is this stuff? I'd never taken anything like it. I could not believe it. And I said, is this what normal people feel like? The people that don't have this genetic alteration that, deal effectively with their oxidative stress. So I had to find out more. And that was 15 months ago, and it's only gotten better. I can't say enough good things about it.
It's interesting. It's interesting you have a background as an astronaut trainee, and Bob's background with NASA and the shuttle tiles. You were kind of linked there too. When did you reach out to early on to talk to Bob?
No. I just did my own research. And I never actually talked to Bob till probably sometime late last year. I was, I admired his work. The research was sound, from everything I could tell. Everything made sense. Mm-hmm. And it still makes sense. It makes even more sense now with the third-party testing he's amassed.
Oh, he's doing his work for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a solid product.
Did you become then after? All right. So the next day you get up, you spring out of bed like a 6-year-old. What happened after the first week?
Okay, so it continues, and I'm still dubious. I'm still, maybe it was something else. I don't know. So I held off. I backed off. I said, let's just, I don't want to leap to conclusions. So I probably didn't take it again for another week, and then.
Really, you took wait. Whoa! One dose.
One dose.
Great day, and then you stopped for a week.
Yeah, and the effects continued. Even I didn't take it, like I said, for a week. And yet I was still feeling the effects. And then I did another dose, and it was probably a full month before I was brave enough, I think, to take it 2 days in a row. And so probably about a month into it, I had the first healing crisis, which, it was like 24 hours of having malaria or something.
That's called a detox for all of you listening, all right?
Yeah. So,
she was dumping some toxicity that her body had stored up over the years.
Yep. That was it. So it was, fever and chills for 24 hours. I knew what it was, so I went to bed, waited it out, and it was fine the next day. And it just, everything's gotten better since then. I've had sites of old injuries and surgeries flare up out of the blue for no apparent reason, as if they were maybe resuming a healing process that had stalled out at some point.
Interesting.
And then they continue out, and now they're just, you can't even remember where the injury was.
You're an endurance athlete. How would you rate your athletic abilities now compared to before you got involved with C60?
It's off the charts. Off
the charts.
Off the charts. The C60 seems to deliver some kind of foundational energy. It's not like having a cup of coffee. It's
deeper than that. Okay.
It's much, much deeper. You feel solid. It's an organic energy where you don't really feel the need to eat or sleep. I still do, but if you can't eat and can't sleep, it's not a problem. You can keep going.
Amazing. All right.
Yeah, it really is.
Erica, thank you for being here. We've got 3 more people I've got to work in here, and you're just very generous and kind with your explanations, and the truth is the truth. And we heard you loud and clear, so thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff.
Okay. Good night, Erica.
Good night.
Okay, let's go next to Tanya. I think Tanya is up. Tanya, are you there? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Tanya Sweeney, we do hear you. A little bit scratchy on the phone there. Let's find out what happens.
I think that was just my throat. I'm sorry.
No, it's. I think it's the phone. But we hear you. 530. Is that Northern California by any chance?
I'm in Mount Shasta.
I'm about an hour and a half north of you.
Oh. You're in Medford area?
Ashland.
Ashland? Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
You sounded nearby. All right. Let's find out about your experience with Greska's C60. Okay? Tell us the beginning here. How did you find out about it?
In about September 2017, I heard Cliff High mention it on his radio show. He claimed that his WebBot internet sniffers had picked it up in his linguistic searches, and it was going to be the next great healing craze.
That's Cliff.
So,
Cliff's amazing.
I actually started out with Bucky Labs, and I ended up spending about $2,000 on 3 other brands before I ended up trying Bob's product. And I took it pretty heavy for about 4 months. I took, 100 milliliter bottle of Bucky Labs, and then I moved on to several 3-pack or 5-packs of Live Longer of their 60 milliliter bottles, and then I got the next month the 8-ounce bottle from Purple Power, and then the 16-ounce bottle from Purple Power the following month. So I was oil guzzling, and I was getting plenty of exposure to toluene solvents, and I am mostly vegan, organic, health nut, trained health coach. I'm also actually trained in live blood analysis microscopy. So microscope.
Oh my, good for you. Well, I mentioned that earlier tonight. That's a fascinating field.
Yeah. So when I was taking all this product, and I was taking Purple Power, and then I heard an interview with Bob. Now, I had started the C60 Facebook group right around the same time that I started taking the product. Mm-hmm. And so my first posts were talking about Bucky, and then Live Longer, and then Purple Power, if you go back to my first post. And so then when I got Bob, I heard Bob mention that his product was black. And then the other ones are, of course, clear, purple tinged. And I took the coconut oil, and then Bucky Labs, I took the olive oil. And so I wanted to see Bob's product up close, so I ordered my first bottle. And I showed it to the group, and we were all, wondering about it. And then Patty Greer started attacking me, and she said Ken Schwartz was there from Purple Power, and they were telling me that Bob's product was garbage, and it was basically ink toner cartridge. And so that just made me determined to figure out what this stuff really was. And, of course, I had this forum, this Facebook group, where other people could come and talk about their experiences as well.
Yeah, there were 1,400 members in that group. You were really on a mission, and you are a health professional. I'm a vegan organic too, or an organic vegan, however you want to align them. But you, I think, going after 4 different C60 products, when you got to Bob's, the only one created without solvents, what was the big difference?
Oh, well, unfortunately, I had poisoned myself for 4 months with all the other products. So I had to detox, and it was intense, and it was painful, and I don't recommend anybody do it. Because I for some reason, I had something was settling in my legs. At that time, I think I was sitting a lot or something. So at first, I had trouble walking for like the first 12 days while I was going through these detox. But something just told me to keep sticking with it. And I was taking like a dropper full, I think, or 2/3 of a dropper full a day, what he recommends. And so, or maybe half a dropper full twice a day, I might have bumped it up to. But I called him right away. And I told him that I had the dark field microscope and that we were really curious. And so he sent me some products that I could find some guinea pigs, guinea pigs in town, to test with my dark field microscope and kind of quantify some of the evidence here to see if this stuff, because, he hadn't done any of his testing at that point either. And the way that the other vendors were attacking him, I think he was even beginning to doubt himself a little bit. So, I set out with this, scientific mind of mine, armed with my instruments and my camera and my Facebook group to share all my evidence with. And one of the ladies I started out with, she had yeast. And you can actually see the progression of pictures where her candida flares up.
Right.
And then it goes away almost completely in the last picture.
Right.
And then I have photos of a man who's gray hair. He had silver white gray hair, and it's coming in black. And
no kidding.
Successive pictures of his hair coming in black.
Mm-hmm.
And for me personally, I just reached this homeostasis. And I in Northern California, my partner's a mason, and so I was out helping him do masonry work last summer. And we were on the sun all day long, and we didn't burn. And when we did tan, it went away very quickly. And people's reports on pets is just amazing. And pets wouldn't be affected by placebo. And we gave it to the family dog. He responded immediately. People in the group have talked about, there's a woman with lupus who posted a video of her walking up the stairs because for the first time after she started taking Bob's products. So just incredible feedback.
All right. Let me recap this a little bit. You went through 3 other products, and we don't really need their names, but this is your story, so you can tell it. Mm-hmm. You got to Bob's. You felt you had to go through a detox. And we heard that earlier tonight about that kind of a feeling. But you hung in there. You stayed with it. You got to the point where you even tried it on your dog. What'd you give your dog? An eyedropper full? Kind of thing?
So he's like a 50-pound lab shepherd mix. And I gave him 5 drops a day on a piece of bread, and he was shedding really bad, and he was really nervous, and within 2 doses, he was like a completely different dog, much more mellow, shedding head completely almost stopped.
This is incredible.
He was like a completely different dog.
That's incredible.
And Bob's dose, I was like, I didn't even give him that much. I gave him way less than the recommended
5 drops a day and a piece of bread. Okay. Now, did you see anything different in the dark field work between the first 3 products and after Bob's product was used? Did you see any differences in the blood?
I didn't actually test the other products.
Okay.
And I did reach out to the other companies and asked if they wanted to supply some product to me in order to conduct some tests, unbiased with their products as well. And nobody replied to me. And I didn't even take the end of my Purple Power. I still have some Purple Power here that I could test on somebody if I wanted to. But I honestly, now that I know what I know about solvents, I don't even want to give it to anybody. It's just sitting in my cupboard. I don't know what to do with
all right.
It, so.
Very good, very good. All right, Tanya, we've got to move on. You did great. Thank you for sharing that. The fact that you have a dark field scope and you understand blood is, again, I mentioned earlier tonight, a very fascinating thing to do. I've always been amazed with it. So we'll talk perhaps again. Thank you again, especially for mentioning about the dogs. We've got to take care of our pets, and this is something that I think is wide open to them. So let's do it.
Yeah, we have someone in the group giving it to their bird, and their bird is 30 years old, I think, and it's recovering beautifully, and young bird hopping around, so it's cool.
Great job. Great. Thank you, Tanya, very much. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
What nice people, Bob. You got some great people in your group. Just great.
They're good. They're good people. And another thing, somebody sent me. They did the same blood analysis on 5 people, and they sent me some photos.
Yeah.
I don't know who they came. They came anonymously, and they did a month before and a month after they started my product, and their blood looked, on an ABCD scale. Their blood looked on a D scale, most of them. And then they moved up to every one of them, 5 out of 5, moved up to the A scale after a month on my product.
Extraordinary. One dropper full in the morning or once a day, and that's it, right? It's very simple.
That's it. That's simple. There's no taste, just in your mouth.
All right.
Get in a habit first thing in the morning. It works great.
All right. Let's go and try and get our next. We have at least one. I'll try and get both of them in here. Sunshine, are you there?
Yes,
Hello.
I am.
Hi, Sunshine. Thank you for being here. Okay, if you can tell us about your Greska's Carbon 60 experience, just go to it. I've got about maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and then we have to move on. But I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Talk fast.
Go to it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I have lots of different licenses, about 20 of them. But I'm a colon hydrotherapist, and the good news for me is none of my people go through any detox on this because different people want to put certain things in their colonic, like oils or...
Yes, understand.
Okay, so what I do is I put a drop of this in their colonics. So what I get out is worms, fungus, bacteria. I mean, it's so nasty you can't even believe it. And they're definitely entertained when they come to me to do colonics because no colonic person probably gets what I get out.
That is shocking. That's shocking.
One girl came to me. She had done over 100 colonics. She paid $50,000 in Vegas, right? She'd been there 2.5 months, whatever. So through the last few years, she'd done 100 colonics. And 8 colonics, she said, she's completely normal. She says, she says, you got me well in 8 colonics. Well, all 8 colonics, I put a dropper full up. So let me tell you what it does besides that, because I've done over 10,000 colonics, right? And I've never seen anything do what this does. So anyway, when we see like 8, 20 feet, 20-inch worms coming out, I mean, it's amazing. There's fungus. It's like chunks of orbits. You don't even go, where is this stuff coming from? But here's the result. And so this is how I sell them. I said, okay, afterwards, after they get finished, I go, I want you to breathe really deep, because this usually goes right to the liver and the gallbladder and right to the lungs. They all can breathe very, very deep. I say, breathe in through the nostrils, now breathe in through the lungs. They're just in shock. I said, that's what that carbon did. Also, usually people fly from all over the country to come in to do liver gallbladder detoxes, because we've got about 4,000 stones in there, right? Anyway, this just speeds the process up, because I just start getting stones out just by putting this in the colonics. That's what's amazing. So that speeds that process up. But what I want to really talk about is the 2 biggest things that I see the need in. I've had over 22,000 clients, but not just with colonics, with the other licenses that I have. These are the 2 big things I find. Right now, people are suicidal, they're nervous, they're temperamental, they get jumpy, they can't handle loud noises, quick movements.
Sure.
They're very sensitive. They get easily offended. Now, that's physically. Then they get easily offended. More and more people are coming non-sociable. They're afraid of circumstances. They're afraid of life. They have fear. They have anxiety. Now, where the C60 carbon comes in, with physical pain and emotional pain, when they take it with their physical pain, right, if they have physical pain, what I find, it pushes them, the carbon C60 pushes the human body past superhuman limits of pain tolerance, okay? Physically, it's astounding what it does. After people do a colonics, I would usually put them on that vibration machine, and it goes up to 60, right? Most of them can get on to 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and they're just itching all over like crazy. They can't stand on it more than maybe 2 minutes. After I started using my colonics, I'd stand them on there. I could take them clear up to 60, where they usually can't go past maybe 10. I can take them up to 60 for a full 10 minutes.
This is on the vibrational therapy machine you stand
5
on.
minutes. Right. But I've had a lot of them. I've had the ones that are 5,500. I've bought a lot of different ones.
Yeah.
This is, I thought, that's amazing. So I believe Bob said there's actually a little bit of oxygen maybe in this C60, and I'm thinking maybe that's what it is, because people itch and they burn on those vibrational things because the oxygen is starting to get into the places where, right, into where the fat cells are, and oxygen normally
not usually the site of a lot of oxygen. No, very interesting.
Right. So there is no burning, there is no red that goes on their body, and I'm just astounded by what I'm seeing. The second thing is the emotional pain.
Yeah.
People can have, and I know this because I've had several clients come in. I mean, not one try to attempt suicide, but like we're talking 2 or 3, and they don't make it through the suicides, right? And as soon as I hear this, I'm like, okay, I'm getting double carbon there, because as soon as I get that in there, I'd say within 10 minutes they may be laughing, they're talking, they're just different people. Now, here's what an epidemic is sort of going on, and it's not a good thing. These guys are putting, maybe alcohol up the rear end so they can get drunk in 60 seconds. Because anything that goes in the colon immediately goes
I know, it's immediately taken up in the body.
I know, but listen. So carbon immediately goes through the bowel wall into the liver. I mean, if it's going to go to the liver, right, it's going to go to the brain. It's going to go everywhere else, and it coats the nervous system. And so the nervous system, they're just after 3 colonics of doing this, right? Only 3 times. They seem to have a sound mind. It's their whole life changes.
Sounds like a PTSD treatment potentially too. Extraordinary.
Right. So it takes them, so it gives them more stamina emotionally. They have a staying power. They can tolerate things more with an emotional toughness. So things can be that would normally offend them.
Mm-hmm.
And I can even say this for myself. If something would normally offend me, it just sort of bounces out. It's like this, I'd say it's like a bubble I'm in that I'm protected. It's like some angel standing around me. It just bounces off. They can say whatever they want. It just bounces back off.
Sunshine, great job. Thank you. You got an awful lot on the table there, and we appreciate it. I'm amazed at what I'm hearing. Thank you, Sunshine.
I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm a biofeedback technician.
Yeah.
Our body's made of hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, and something else. Those gases. What I kept finding over and over in a biofeedback, people are missing carbon. I just said, God, where's the carbon? Why? Right? They can get the nitrogen, the oxygen, the hydrogen, but they're missing carbon. So thank you, Bob, for this.
Very good.
That's it.
Thank you, Sunshine. Great job. All right, I'm going to bring our last guest on here. We're going to talk to, and I believe it's Brigitta. Is that correct, Brigitta? Hello, Brigitta.
Hi.
Hi there. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
It's Brigitta.
Say it again.
Brigitta.
Brigitta.
It's a tongue twister, I know.
Brigitta. All right, the accent's on the first brig. I got it. Brigitta.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now, young lady, tell us your Carbon 60 story. We're going to go, I'll squeeze 4 minutes or so out of this, so go ahead.
Okay, so
the floor is yours. Yeah.
Okay, let me start first by saying that I have a system that has capabilities of testing vitamins and supplements and how they react to individual bodies.
Okay.
So my journey began about 15 months ago. I had received Bob Greska's Carbon 60, and my next client was coming in to see me that was complaining on abdomen discomfort. So I put Greska C60 to the test. I scanned my client's esophagus to stomach, small intestine, posterior interior wall of the stomach, duodenum, colon, intestine, liver, and gallbladder. Then we proceeded to rub, topically only, a small amount of C60 on our abdomen, and we waited for 5 minutes. Then, during that time of the 5 minutes, my client started saying she was feeling better. She had less gurgling, less pain, and her stomach wasn't as bloated. And I was thinking to myself, this couldn't be happening so quickly. So after the 5 minutes were up, I rescanned the same list of items that I read out to you, and I compared them. And I could not believe my eyes. Just how these cells in her bodies had improved anywhere from 30 to 90%.
In 5 minutes.
The system in 5 minutes topically. And the system is 98% accurate. And I've seen it. I've tested many. I've been doing this for like 9 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do trust my system.
Mm-hmm.
Before I take anything, that's how I check before I digest. So all these changes happen in just 5 short minutes. This is truly remarkable.
Wow.
A sight that I personally have never witnessed.
Mm-hmm.
I had tested many products before. None of these have the same kind of results. Taking products, even internally, high-quality products would get somewhat close to these percentages, maybe only after 90 days. That's if you were lucky. That's when I realized I had to speak with Bob Greska himself to become the Canadian distributor for C60. So now you're probably wondering for some of the side effects.
Please.
This is what my clients have reported back to me. Back pain is healed. They wake up in the morning and not nearly as stiff as they used to be. Wounds heal much faster. A client reported her daughter was getting sick with a cold, and she had put it up her nose and didn't get sick. A grandson complained of an earache, and a single drop of C60 was put in her ear, and the pain went away. People experience like bursts of energy, mental clarities. It gets rid of toenail fungus.
Oh, it does.
Stronger fingers.
That's a wait. Now that's a big one. All right. So put a couple drops on the toenails and the fungus may go away. All right.
No, this was done internally. That one test was done topically.
All right.
But all these nails that I'm reading to you were done internally.
All right.
Other than the ear and the nose, right? The drop. Those were
if C60 did nothing else but internally taken address toenail fungus, that is 100%. A miracle. Oh, 100%.
Yes, it is.
Oh, my.
Yes. And stronger fingernails. And I can attest that to myself. Mm-hmm. I never, ever had fingernails, even as a child. They were very thin, very brittle. They would break. Mm-hmm. They are so long now that when I go and get my nails done, they think they're fake. They cannot believe the length. I mean, I have 50% of my nail when I turn my hand over, and they're not even breaking. And this is something I've never even had as birth. So This is really changing things in a very positive way.
Wow, very good. Brigitte, thank you for being here. Yep. What I'd like to do is invite all of the people who've been on tonight, do it again. Down the road, we'll have another program and spend a little bit more time. Thank you very much. It's been very interesting, to put it mildly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Bob, we're just about out of time. In fact, we're 6 minutes over time, but that's okay. This has been really amazing for me to hear. These are, in many cases, these are professionals. They have practices. They have clientele. They know what they're doing. This is got to make, well, you know all this, but it's got to make you feel doubly proud and very happy about what you've done. This is extraordinary.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I hear stories every day. People call me up and tell me they have this, they have that. They take my product within either a couple hours or minutes or a few days or even a couple weeks. Whatever they have goes away. It's truly miraculous.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that for this time. It's Greska's C60, and the website is C60. C-60.com. C-60.com. Bob, one quick final comment, then we got to go.
Well, you can also call us direct at 720-600-6040.
All right.
So we answer all the phones. So, thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Great group of people. We'll do this again down the road. Thank you, Bob, for everything.
Thank you. Yep. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, we are late tonight. Sorry to have kept up you up a little later than usual, but I think that was worth it. Take care. It's C-60.com. Take a look. And keep in mind what you heard this evening. Back in 21 hours.